It's not ready. So, thanking our invitation for this forum on a Saturday.
You're welcome.
Now, if it's all right, let's begin. Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, we are joined by Governor Gwendolyn Garcia of Cebu. She will talk about the current situation her province is in, and we're highlighting the situation about the coronavirus infection. She will tell us what the provincial government has been doing to address the issue. Our host this afternoon is Mr. Melo Acuña. So, Melo, please take the floor.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jonna. Good afternoon, Governor. We wish you the best. And of course, we appreciate a clear picture of Cebu province, one of the most populous provinces in the country, as COVID-19 pandemic continues to bring fear and challenge among the people and its leaders. Before we go to the question and answer session, we will listen to the opening statements of our guest, Governor Gwen Garcia, and as moderator, I will give way to my colleagues to ask immediately after Governor Garcia's remarks. Please let us know who among our colleagues would like to have this recorded, and we will allow you as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Governor Gwen Garcia.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. I'm just ready to take your questions.
No questions, all right.
Well, no question. All right, let's begin. Jonah, start the ball rolling with your first question.
Hi, good afternoon, Governor. We're very interested to hear from you how the province is doing right now. We understand that there are a lot of infections in Cebu City, which is a separate local government entity. But we are interested to know how the provincial government is handling this, because you share the borders. So please tell us how many infections you have in the entire island and what you are doing to keep the numbers low, and what you are doing to help our compatriots in Cebu. Thank you.
Okay, just as an update, as of today, the total positive cases, COVID-19 cases in Cebu City now stands at 413. Cebu City is an independent chartered city and therefore is not under the territorial jurisdiction of the province of Cebu. However, we share borders. But let me first continue. As Lapu-Lapu City, another highly urbanized city, again, being an HUC, it is not under the jurisdiction of the province of Cebu. Lapu-Lapu City now has 28 positive COVID-19 cases. Mandaue City has 11. As far as the rest of the province of Cebu is concerned, there have been only 3 positive cases, and that was the last positive case was last April 3. Of the 3 positive cases, 2 have recovered, and we had 1 morbidity or mortality. The total number of positive cases confirmed by the Vicente Soto Medical Memorial Center, a regional testing center, duly certified by the RITM. In the island of Cebu, total now stands at 455 positive cases. As I mentioned earlier, we share a border. In fact, 3 borders with the city of Cebu, which is at the center of this island. So what we have done is to institute very, very strict border controls. We are only allowing a number of personnel that are working in the essential services, as well as government agencies that also need to be working as we combat COVID-19. So in the north, we have now instituted very strict control. against the entry of people coming from Cebu City to the province. That border is set at Mandaue City and further north at Consolacion, the town of Consolacion. In the south, we have border checkpoints set up in the city of Lapu-Lapu because that is the entrance to the south. On the other hand, for the western portion, the border checkpoints are set up in the border shared between Cebu City and the municipality of Balamban. We are very thankful for the full support of the PNP as well as the military that now man these borders and very strictly scrutinize all persons, vehicles, cargo that pass through these borders going to the province of Cebu.
Mm-hmm. Jonah,
Thank you for that, Governor. Can you also tell us can you tell us more about what the provincial government has been doing to help the people? Have you been food relief packs that you have distributed? If you have cash assistance that you gave, how is the economy in general right now?
Since the province is now under an enhanced community quarantine, our local government units have taken the burden of helping those that have been disadvantaged economically because of this present ECQ. What the province has done was to download cash directly to the local government units so they could use this cash. First and foremost, and that was way back in February, we already downloaded for every municipality and city. And we are talking here of 44 municipalities, 7 cities. We downloaded 500,000 per municipality, per city, in order for them to procure safety equipment, the PPE suits, masks, goggles, gloves, all that would be needed in order to, first of all, equip our frontliners and those that need to be working in the barangays as they monitored persons under monitoring. Itong mga barangay health emergency response teams. So that's a total of about 70 million plus, no? For the 51 times 500, that would be 27,500,000 that we downloaded. Now, further on, as we then declared the province under ECQ, we downloaded cash for them to purchase the basic necessities such as rice, sardines, or other canned goods, laundry detergent, cooking oil, sugar, and the like. The amount that we downloaded was determined by the income class of the city or the municipality. So those that were poorer or belong to the 4th to 6th class got more on a per capita basis because we said that we would give this amount for every person, for the entire population. Like for example, for our first to second class municipalities in the province, we appropriated 100 pesos per person for the entire population. Like if a town had a population of 100,000, then this town would receive 100 pesos times 100,000. Now, for the 3rd to 4th class, we appropriated 150. And for the 5th to 6th class, we gave 200 pesos per capita.
Per head.
We've downloaded that. The total that we have so far assisted for all of the 51 LGUs is around 373 million that are now, we have downloaded the cash, but there are certain guidelines. These can only be used to purchase the basic necessities, as mentioned earlier, but also subject to the price ceilings that have been set by the Department of Trade and Industry, as well as our own Provincial Price Monitoring Council. So they cannot purchase the goods higher than what has already been set as price ceilings. Furthermore, we have opened what we call the Tindahan sa Kapitolyo in most of our local government units. There, our constituents can purchase NFA rice, sardines, laundry detergent, cooking oil, alcohol. These products were procured by the province of Cebu at the lowest possible price and then sold to this tindahan sa Kapitolyo at an even lower price. We discounted it at 10%. In other words, the province stands to lose for every kilo. Like for example, NFA rice, that's standard. The standard price is 1,250 per sack. So,
can I just interject? Any percentage of the population that we've distributed this assistance to? You mentioned that it's per head, so because it's in Manila, it's the cash assistance is per family, per household. So I just wanted to clarify that this is per head.
I think you got confused. The amount.
Sorry, please clarify.
Okay, I'll go back.
Sorry for that.
We downloaded cash to the local government unit depending upon the income class of the LGU. For example, if a town were a first-class municipality, we would download 100 pesos times the total population. That 100 pesos times, let's say 10,000, that would give you an equivalent amount. This amount could only be used to purchase basic necessities: rice, canned goods, cooking oil, alcohol, detergent. The municipality purchases these basic necessities, and then they have to purchase or source these out subject to the price ceilings that we have set. We have a Provincial Price Monitoring Council in coordination with the DTI, in coordination with the DA. So if they would purchase rice, they could not, I am talking of the mayors, they cannot purchase rice higher than the price ceilings that have been set. With the amount that we downloaded and with the basic necessities that they have purchased, this is not for cash assistance to people. This is for purchase of basic necessities to be distributed to the households. So what they have purchased together with what they also have purchased with their own disaster funds, all of these are put together so that the mayors may be able to distribute to the households. Perhaps, it all depends, 5 kilos every week, together with so many cans of canned goods, and so on and so forth. That is insofar as the amount that I have downloaded to the LGUs are concerned. When you cut me short by asking your question, I was already talking about the tindahan sa Kapitolyo. In every municipality, we have utilized their covered court in the poblacion. There they have set up a tindahan. It is the province that purchases rice, sardines, alcohol, and the like, but these are to be bought. because only those that are really considered the poorest are allowed to buy these items. Consider it. They have so much, well, they have cash coming from the social welfare, the SWD, the Social Amelioration Fund. There's cash coming from DOLE for those displaced workers. But what good is the cash if the basic necessities cost too much? Because there are so many traders now that are exploiting the situation. So we have opened this tindahan sa Kapitolyo where we are selling the items at even lower prices than the cost by which the Capitol got it. Like for example, and as an example, NFA rice. One sack costs 1,250. That's standard for all here in Cebu. One sack costs 1,250. Divided by 50 kilos, a sack, the cost price of that would have been 25 pesos. Our cost is at 25 and yet we sell it 10% lower than the cost. Therefore, in the tindahan sa Kapitolyo, NFA rice costs even less, 10%, so that's 22.50 than the purchase price at NFA. That is how we are trying to help in all of our, especially our rural municipalities, where it is difficult to go to a major supermarket or grocery, and there are just small stores that could very well be selling these goods at very high prices. That is insofar as the tindahan sa Kapitolyo is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that clarification, Melo. I think si Cliff Benson of Nikkei wants to ask a question.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We have the next questions from Raul Dancel. Raul, good afternoon and welcome to our forum.
Good afternoon po, Governor.
Good afternoon.
Opo, pwede po bang magpa-update sa sa situation sa jails and sa jails dyan sa Cebu?
Yes, okay. It's important for everybody to know that there are two facilities insofar as detention facilities are concerned. You have the city jail, the Cebu City Jail, which is called the BBRC, Bagong Buhay Rehabilitation Center. And you have the Provincial Jail, which is run by the provincial government of Cebu. It is called the CPDRC, or the Cebu Provincial Detention and Rehabilitation Center. We are responsible for the CPDRC that is directly under the supervision of the Cebu provincial government. However, the BBRC is under the management and control of the BJMP, or the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. So, there has been a considerable number of positive cases now in the BBRC. In fact, as of today, in the total tested of 123, there is again an increase of 63, all at the BJMP of positive cases. I believe the total now in the BJMP for positive cases stands at over 200 or nearing 300. So far naman, in the CPDRC, the provincial jail, which is just right across the street where the BBRC is located. Thank God we have no such positive case, but we are instituting very, very strict measures. Noon pa, di na kami tumatanggap ng dalaw. We did not allow anymore na may bibisita pa in order to secure our inmates. Furthermore, we did not accept any new inmates anymore. we practically put the CPDRC on lockdown. Ngayon, yung mga jail guards, kasi three-tiered yung security system natin dyan. It starts with the civil security unit, which is part of the capital security, and then moves on to our Cebu Provincial, the jail guards, still part of the capital personnel, and then we have the blue guards. Ngayon pa lang, we have already segregated yung mga galing or are living in barangays in the city of Cebu which have positive cases, hindi na natin pinapa-report yun. Furthermore, yung mga guards ngayon na naka-assigned sa CPDRC, binigyan ngayon ng area, they will have to stay inside for 14 days. Hindi na yung may labas-pasok yung mga tao or even our security personnel. And we have very, very rigid disinfection and very close monitoring of our inmates.
Raul?
Ma'am, yung measures po na ito sa ano to no sa provincial jail no yung inelaborate niyo po no?
Yes.
Opo. Sa city jail yung merong maraming infections po. Same measures din po ba ang ginagawa nila doon?
I cannot answer, sabi ko nga, that is under the BJMP. That is not under our supervision and control. The BRC, yung city jail, is under the supervision and control of the BJMP. So I have absolutely no authority over there.
Sorry, Raul.
Unless may question po sa tungkol sa city jails, no? Kasi ibang question na yung susunod ko.
Okay.
Maybe someone else can step in.
Yeah.
No, Melo, I just have one question about the provincial jail.
Yes.
Jonah?
Yeah,
Yes,
I just have one question po about the provincial jail. Ano po ang population natin ng provincial jail?
Yes. Population now stands at a little over 1,700. On the other hand, sa BJMP, yung BBRC, na jail, the city jail is over 6,000.
Oh. And you said that you stopped accepting inmates sa provincial jail. What date po kaya yun?
Actually, that facility, noon kasi when I was governor, I maintained that yung CPDRC at capacity lang para walang congestion. That facility is only good for up to 1,600. For 9 years, we maintained that. Kaya nga, sumikat yung CPDRC. If you would remember the dancing inmates that became a worldwide sensation, that is the jail. That was during my time. In the 6 years that I was gone, and I became congresswoman, another one was governor, yung mga inmates doon, hindi na na-control, accept. At one point, umabot ng almost 4,000 inside the CPDRC. Kaya you could imagine the congestion, the dirt, the whatever. Ang hirap pa rin also to control and discipline. When I came back, we instituted the preemptive decongestion. Anong ibig sabihin doon? For as long as hindi namin ito maibalik sa ideal number at 1,500, we will not accept any new detainees. They would have to be kept in the city jails or in the town jails or in the district jails. We will have to keep on hastening the disposition of the cases of our inmates, whether the cases will be dismissed or whether they would then be committed to the Muntinlupa. So that has been our policies. At sa awa ng Diyos, from a high of almost 4,000, we have slowly reduced it and it has continued to reduce. Kaya ngayon, it stands at 1,700.
Okay. Thank you, Governor. Let's have Ana Santos. Ana? Yes, Ana. Good afternoon, Ana. Welcome. One more time.
You're still muted.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon po, ma'am. Ana Santos po from Al Jazeera Online. So my question is about the jail facilities, CPDR. You said that there are no positive cases as of this point. What kind of testing are you doing to ascertain that you have 0 cases? And
We're doing swabbing. Nagsaswabbing tayo ngayon. Oral at oral pharyngeal and nasal pharyngeal.
Okay, and so we have, as of today, the latest, no positive cases still.
As of today, wala pa.
Okay. Next question po, a follow-up to Jonah's question. Hindi ko po yata narinig kung kailan pa ho nag-lockdown yung CPDR. But my question is...
CPDRC.
CPDRC.
Yeah.
When was the lockdown instituted? Because my question is, so many of the inmates depend on family visits for food, for other toiletries. So when nag-lockdown kayo, how were you able to properly and adequately still address the food and hygiene and toiletry needs of the inmates?
The food is provided for by the provincial government. May budget po kami dyan. Binibili lahat. Everything is just provided for sa ating mga inmates. On the other hand, yung ibang mga toiletries, there's an existing co-op inside the jail that is regularly replenished. This is also regularly checked and monitored by by our CPDRC management.
So when was the lockdown instituted, ma'am?
Sometime in March.
March.
And when it became clear that in fact, we instituted the lockdown right after an ECQ was declared in Manila and subsequently in Luzon.
So that's about March 15.
Yes.
It's almost going to be about 2 weeks short of 2 months that they haven't gotten any visitors. Is there any other kind of way that we're augmenting the need for the inmates to reconnect with their families? Because that's also their right.
You know, these are no longer normal times, in case you haven't noticed.
Oh, we have.
The old comfortable kind of lifestyle that we had, that's gone. So I would have to choose right now, because these are hard choices. We insist on rights, but on the other hand, lives, cost to human lives, magiging kapalit. So right now, we will just have to insist na ito na, wala mo nang dalaw.
Sure.
On the other hand,
are you thinking about that later on? Because I think this situation is going to drag on for a while. We're going to have COVID for a while, and this will be our new normal. So
do you know why meron ngayon mga positive cases sa BBRC? Because when we stopped the dalaw, BBRC continued.
Okay.
Think about it. So we will have to see how the situation progresses. Right now, I am not even thinking about that. I am thinking about how to protect CPDRC, seeing as the BBRC is just right across the street and the numbers are shooting up the roof of positive cases.
Thank you. Last question. What are the plans for isolation if you do have turn up a positive case in CPDRC?
We have already. Meron na kami na identified na isolation chambers. Specifically for those that hindi pa lang, kahit hindi pa positive, meron lang influenza-like illnesses. Kaagad-agad, ina-isolate na namin yan.
Is it within the facility?
It's in the facility.
It's in the facility. How is it separated? Just so we have an idea.
It's in the facility itself. It's one building.
Yeah, so there's a separate room.
It's not just a room. It's a long corridor that is very secured with proper beds, with proper cubicles.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have the next question from Cliff Benson. Cliff, good afternoon. Welcome, and go ahead with the questions. Cliff?
Good afternoon, Governor. I'm Cliff Benson from Nikkei. It's a Japanese news agency. Ma'am, just to confirm, you have POGOs po in Cebu, right?
I can't answer about POGOs. Wala kami sa province.
Wala sa province. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know if they have in Lapu-Lapu City. I don't know. I cannot answer for Lapu-Lapu City. Wala kami sa province.
All right, yeah. Okay, ma'am, thank you very much.
All right, next question from Ellen Cruz. Ellen? Yes, Ellen, good afternoon and
Hello.
welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon, Governor.
Good
Yes.
Ma'am,
afternoon.
my question is, are there some tourists who were stranded there in Cebu province, uh, that when the lockdown was imposed, they could not go out of the country, they could not go out of Cebu and go to Manila to catch planes at the airport at that time. So, because I heard some, I think Britain Embassy and Spain and US are trying to have a sweeper flights. So are there some stranded tourists in Cebu, and what are you involved about them trying to go out?
Okay. Let's distinguish muna ha. Yung mga local. Yung mga Filipinos na hindi taga Cebu.
Yes, Governor.
When we closed our seaports and our airports, my executive orders had always emphasized we are restricting entry into the island of Cebu. But anybody who wants to go out, you may go out anytime. Please get out. But please remember, once you go out, you cannot enter. So we had always encouraged all that may have come from our neighboring islands of Negros, Bohol, Iloilo, even those that wish to go back to Manila. But then remember, mas maaga yung nag-lockdown ang Manila. When all land, air, and sea travel was already prohibited. Kaya hindi na nga sila makabalik. Later on, nag-lockdown na rin yung mga provinces. Kaya hindi na rin sila makabalik. Even if we would allow them to go out through our seaports, the province itself, to where they belong, would no longer accept them. Okay, for foreign nationals, it is only MCIAA or Mactan Cebu International Airport ngayon that continues to operate. Kaya yung mga sinasabi mo, mga Spanish nationals, they just took off already several days ago. May mga sweeper flights that continue. But our only policy is wherever they may come from, whether they come from Spor or they come from Boracay, kasi nagko-congregate lahat dito sa Cebu eh. Dinadala pa rin nila possible infection dito sa Cebu wherever these people come from. So, yung hinihingi lang namin, pagdating nila, diretso na sila sa airport, diretso na sa flights nila. They cannot stay overnight. Check-in na naman sa mga hotels natin, possibly exposing hotel personnel and other hotel guests to the virus should they be carriers. So that is the health protocol that we have instituted. We have been the host for all of these sweeper flights. And I believe the very last one took off last April 23. So nandyan pa yung mga sweeper flights.
Helen?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dana Batnag. Dana, good afternoon. We have questions for the good governor.
Hi, ma'am. Dana Batnag from Singapore Straits Times. You mentioned earlier that you conducted testing sa Cebu Provincial Jail. So how many po were tested? You said walang positive, so you got all the results na. They were all negative. When did you test po and how many?
No. We have done the swabbing, okay? We're waiting for the results. We're hoping, but these are only for ilan ka buok? Oh, there are 17 that have exhibited influenza-like illnesses. Just to be sure, di pa naman ito na talagang grabe yung mga symptoms, but just to be sure, pinaswab natin. So if you'd like to stick around, because pinadala pa natin sa PCR machine, sa DOH, sa Vicente Soto. You'd really want to know, then probably Cassie can tell you once the results come out.
Kailan po sila nag-start na mag-exhibit ng symptoms, ma'am? Just today, a few days ago?
I guess I will need to call my medical officer at the CPDRC kasi hindi ko yan minomonitor eh. There are so
We'll
many
follow
other,
up.
there are just so many other things that I also have to look after. But if you can wait, I will call our medical officer from the CPDRC for him to answer your questions. Kasi masyado ng detailed ito. Sorry ha, hindi ko na yan ano talaga, naatupag. Sorry talaga.
Yeah.
We'll follow up na lang with Cathy, ma'am.
Yeah.
At saka ma'am, yung number lang ng how many beds dun sa isolation building?
Would you like to come? I'll invite you para makita mo. Kaya I don't also count, but certainly more than 20.
Okay.
Okay,
I
thank
guess
you,
that
ma'am.
justifies
Okay?
that-
You're invited. If you come here and tingnan mo, I will take you on a tour around our facilities sa CPDRC.
Yes.
Pagkatapos ng lockdown sa Luzon, ma'am.
Okay, yan. I will give you a special permit para makapasok kayo rito.
Yeah, thank you very much for the hospitality, Governor. Cecil Morelia. Cecil, would you have some questions for the good governor? Cecil?
Yes, can you hear me, Governor?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Cecil Morelia po of the French News Agency. I understand that Zapatera in Cebu City is not within your jurisdiction, but your neighbors. You must have seen something that's not being done properly there, and that's why there's a lot of infections.
This is precisely why I have requested that I will not be asked about how things are being done in the city of Cebu because first of all, I have no authority over the city of Cebu. Therefore, second of all, whatever protocols we have set in the province of Cebu does not necessarily mean that these are also set in the city of Cebu. So third, discretion, prudence, and delicadeza demand that I must respect jurisdictions, and so I do not wish to comment on how they have been doing things in the city of Cebu.
And another topic, ma'am. There have been arrests of people supposedly putting out fake news on social media, and I was wondering what the numbers are in your province and what have been done to them.
I think the PNP would be more in a position to update you, but I know that the most recent arrest that caused a lot of uproar involved this Cebuana writer who apparently posted on the Facebook na this was parang a reaction after may statement by the city health officer of Cebu City na hindi na sila, they would no longer conduct further testing in situ Zapatera and even in the barangay to which that sitio belongs, which is Barrio Luz.
Yeah.
Kasi considered infected na raw. Yung population doon is over 10,000. So as an offshoot of that, nag-post itong lady writer na, so in that case pala, there are 9,000 positive cases in Cebu City. So that became the bone of contention and caused her arrest. I don't wish to comment. I am just laying the premise of how all of this began.
Thank you very much, Governor.
Yeah. Governor, we know you're pressed for time as well, but as the moderator, I just have several concerns, and this has something to do with, are you getting the necessary support from the national government, considering the crisis?
What kind of support would you mean, Melo?
Have they released your ERA on time?
Yes, the province is entitled to 1/2 month. This is the additional, in addition to our monthly releases of our IRA. And as assistance from the national government, the province of Cebu will be entitled to 1/2 of our monthly IRA share, which is around 170 or 180 million. And that can go a very long way. Certainly, we are very grateful to the national government for that. We also work very closely with the agencies, no? that are now at the forefront in this battle against the COVID-19. So we are working very closely with the Department of Health through our regional director, Dr. Bernadas, with the DSWD, with the DOLE, with the DA, and all of them have been very, very supportive and cooperative with the Cebu provincial government.
Very good. Nice to hear about that. But considering that it appears we're here for a long haul, what headwinds do you see in the next 2 or 3 months?
As of yesterday kasi, Melo, if you would recall, they included Cebu and Cebu City in the extension hanggang May 15 sa ECQ. Although I'm a little confused kasi nasa Philippine Star ngayon, ang nakalagay, we are on lockdown in Cebu, Cebu City, even Davao City, Davao province, we are on lockdown until April 30. So be that as it may, I am looking at May 15th as a reckoning date na hanggang dun lang ang ECQ. We are already preparing. What I'm doing is we are acquiring rapid testing kits in order to test a certain percentage of the entire Cebu province population. So we would know, tawag natin dito, rapid testing kits. Outside, they call this the antibodies testing kits. And that is what we would also wish to know. Exactly how each town stands in so far as the possible positives which need to be reconfirmed, of course, but more importantly, how many have already developed antibodies. So we would be more comfortable in opening up the economy and slowly, gradually allowing those other businesses that are now closed to reopen. Furthermore, we are already planning this. There has to be a major shift between what we used to consider as of primordial importance, and that is here in Cebu, building these condominiums, building more hotels, focusing on the tourism industry because, this is such a huge industry for us here. But seeing how things are developing internationally, we don't see a rise of tourism or even a resurrection of tourism, at least the next couple of years. So yesterday, I met with all of the presidents of the chambers of commerce, and I challenged them. I said, I know that your members are awash with cash. Before this coronavirus set in, there was so much liquidity in the market, and that was why banks were already offering such low lending rates because there was so much money. Challenge them then. Let us go back to the province, to our towns that have so much arable land. Ask them, how much land do they have in the province? And then go back to tilling this land. Let us make Cebu self-sufficient in so far as food is concerned, because what this crisis has taught us, we are helpless when it comes to rice. We need to scramble for rice because we are not producing enough here. Even for corn, we have 10 to 12 feed mills operating right here in Cebu. And yet, they have to import corn outside of the country or even from Mindanao. This time, I challenge them, we will reboot. We will refocus our energies into making Cebu self-sufficient in food production. So from building condominiums to agribusiness. And that is how we are looking at the new normal in the next years to come. I wish to make Cebu be able to stand up by itself, self-sustained by the food that we produce. Because after all that has happened to us, we will have to go back to the basics. And food is the most basic.
Yes. Governor, We hope we could see you when the lockdown is over, and we'd like to see and learn how you did it your way in the province. Please let us know if
Well,
the invitation will hold after the lockdown.
of course, of course. Let's hope and pray that things will finally be able to, as insofar as Manila or Luzon is concerned, mapa-flatten yung curve ninyo. Kasi tutuloy pa rin yung increase. Dito naman sa province, I am trying as hard as I can to contain the positive cases right here in Cebu City, and that is why napaka-stricto talaga ang border controls namin in the connecting cities to the province. And yes, let's all hope and pray. Kami rito, we continue to pray to our dear Santo Niño, our patron, and Our Lady of Guadalupe, our patroness.
So thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best, and probably keep us posted on how you're doing things in Cebu. We wish you the best of health. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Daghang salamat.
Happy weekend.
Daghang salamat po, Governor.
Thank you, Bob. Keep safe.